live, extreme, ULEZ, green zone, climate change, weather forecast, London City, UK 2023.
The original ULEZ area was just the very centre of the city. There you go, in green. It only applied there when it first came in 3 years ago. Then in 2021, it expanded to what's called Inner London. That's basically the area around the north and south circular ring roads. But today, look at the size of it. It increases once more to cover Outer London, well, which means all 32 London boroughs are now inside,
including Richmond.
Why is it being expanded? Well, the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, we're going to speak to him in a moment, he says in all London boroughs, air pollution far exceeds limits recommended by the World Health Organization, which can...
Date today is the 29th of August, 2023, Tuesday. Time's down there.
Most scientific studies show that clean air zones reduce air pollution. 3 years after London's first zone was introduced, pollutant levels next to the roadside reduced by an estimated 46%. But the science is disputed. And what does all this mean in practical terms in the meantime? Well, generally, to be compliant, a petrol vehicle needs to be registered after 2005 or a diesel vehicle after September 2015. If your vehicle is registered before these dates, you will be charged from now on £12.50 to enter the zone for most vehicles. Sally.
Crazy, isn't it?
Thanks very much, John. Well, we are joined now live on the programme by
not obviously in person.
Khan. Morning to you, Mr. Khan.
It's not surprising.
Heard you say previously that this expansion was a very difficult decision to take. Tell me why you struggled with it.
Well, good morning. It's just worth just explaining the reason why I took this difficult but vital decision, the right one, to expand.
I don't think it's working, mate. Every time I walk into London, I still get problems breathing. Sorry. He's a target the planes, the airports.
And that's because of the evidence.
Waste of money. Absolute waste of money. Sorry, mate. Thumbs down.
More than around 4,000 premature deaths a year in our city, but also children with stunted lungs forever caused by air pollution. A whole host of health issues for adults, from asthma to cancer, dementia to heart disease.
Don't forget, you're pushing the pollution out towards me in Surrey.
In central London,
so you don't care about me, do you? If we put it around in Surrey, you push it down to the coast, down to Portsmouth. You push it out to sea and the ferries going. You can't win, mate.
With air pollution related illnesses, when we expanded it to inner London, a 21% reduction in pollutants. So children going to 1,400 schools.
I'm sure the public believe it's more of a form of tax to get the government out of debt.
No improvements.
And help the Mayor of London out, in the City of London especially.
But also the 10
income money wise.
With the largest number of premature deaths are in outer London. 24 out of 30 of the GP practices with the largest number of patients with respiratory issues in outer London. But it was difficult because I recognise we're going through a cost of living crisis, and I've been listening. That's why I've announced over the course of the last 8 months the biggest scrappage scheme our country's seen.
And people keep train drivers keep striking. That doesn't help. So are you trying to make London an unwelcoming city?
Less than 10 people to support.
Seems like it.
But over the course
don't come to London. You're not welcoming anyone into London.
Every child in London who's on
car drivers, train drivers.
Support. And earlier on this month, I announced every person in London with a non-compliant vehicle, non-compliant car, motorbike, business.
Won't accept you into London or the tube or David Jarrell cars getting scrapped. You're not welcome to London. That's what you're putting out, mate.
You know, who would think that we don't need clean air? We don't need cleaner air. Everybody wants cleaner air, don't they? But we just had.
How can you get trained when they're striking?
He said this is quite simply about making more money.
Yeah, let me deal with that. I mean, I just bumped into Mark Harper as he was leaving the studio, and I think he made a couple of factual errors, which is really worth me clarifying. If this was about making money, I would have acceded to the demand from the government to expand the congestion charge much wider than it currently is. That would have been a cash grab, but I said no. If it was a cash grab, as the government's saying, just to raise money, I'd have acceded to their demand to expand the ULEZ without proper consultation and a proper scrappage scheme. This is about helping our air be cleaner, and in a couple of years' time, TfL have predicted there will be no additional money made because of the number of non-compliant vehicles, but every penny net made is used to reinvest in public transport, improving buses in outer London, improving public transport in our...
It keeps striking public transport at the moment, mate. How do you get anywhere public transport? And they're striking. Sorry. It ain't practical at the moment.
It was this government that has supported clean air.
And the bus goes when it has to go. It doesn't go when you want it to go. The train goes when it wants to go. And you doesn't want to go. Trains go when you want it to go.
But for some reason, they refuse to support London and are trying to make, you know, party political gain out of a
car can go when you want to go.
And are you confident? Can you back up the claims, the scientific claims that you just said to us? I know you mentioned that number, didn't you? 4,000 extra early deaths per year. That number, I believe, is in fact from an Imperial College study that was funded by your own group, paid £800,000 to do that research. Are you confident those numbers are accurate?
This same air quality team of experts was commissioned by the government, brackets, paid for by the government, to do a report. And this report for the government showed that around the country, there are between 28,000 and 36,000 premature deaths. Whether it's King's College, whether it's Imperial College, whether it's Queen Mary's University, whether it's the chief medical...
climate, I guess you're going to have to do something about the pollution, but...
They all agree that air pollution is a public health crisis. We now have a really effective...
Why not the planes and the airports?
To reduce air pollution. It's shown to be effective in central London and...
Heathrow Airport's the worst. And don't forget London City Airport.
Privilege. What about outer London? Why shouldn't they breathe clean air? Why should they carry on dying prematurely in numbers that could be reversed? And the key thing is this, we need to make sure that we do other things as well. So that's why in London, we have more electric buses than any city in Western Europe. In London, we have more rapid charging points than any city in Western Europe in London. More than a third of the country's charging points are in our greater city. We've planted almost 500,000 trees in London and are rewild in our city. So the clean air zone in London, the expansion of ULEZ, is an integral part of our policies to address air pollution, to address the climate emergency, but also to make sure we address the issue of social injustice. Those least likely to own a car suffer the worst consequences.
I'm just going to move you on for a moment because I don't know if you saw, we've had a couple of people already talking on the programme this morning about the situation with their cars. As far as you are aware, how many cars, what percentage of cars are non-compliant at the moment?
So in inner London, where the ULEZ currently exists, around 97% of vehicles seen driving on an average day are already compliant.
Sorry, 97%?
Inner London, on an average day. In outer London, where the ULEZ is expanded to, on an average day, 90% of cars seen driving are compliant. What I've done, though, is notwithstanding that, announced an additional £50 million towards our scrappage scheme, the biggest in the country. So every single person in London who may have a non-compliant vehicle, by the way, I'd encourage your viewers to check on the TfL London website whether their vehicle is compliant. For every person in London who may have a non-compliant car, a motorbike, a small business with a van, a charity with a minibus, check whether your vehicle is compliant. If it's not compliant, you can receive flash support from TfL to make that transition.
Okay, I'm curious to know what your numbers are, because I know that when the RAC obtained figures from the DVLA earlier this year, they said that nearly 700,000 cars registered in Greater London are non-compliant. That is in fact 25%. So this is going to be a significant problem for more people than you are suggesting.
Can I explain the RAC figures, which is basically based upon cars, vans and other vehicles registered in London. Many businesses who've got their headquarters in London register their vehicles in London but drive them around the country. So the figures from the cameras in relation to the numbers of cars seen driving in outer London are more accurate and more up to date. So the first thing is please check whether your vehicles are compliant. As I said, more than likely your vehicle is compliant. If it's not compliant, there's financial support available from City Hall and TfL. And again, I'm imploring the government, rather than playing political knockabout, work with us so more Londoners, more businesses, more charities can receive that financial support.
We know that most people in London, you're talking about the support for people, they could actually only apply for that grant from around 8 days ago. Is that really long enough for people to get organised?
So the scheme first opened in January, and the focus in January was to support low-income families, disabled Londoners, micro businesses who employ less than 10 people, and charities. We need to make sure those people can receive support first. And as I said, we've got a finite resource paid for by City Hall without government support. In July, we were able to expand that once we knew those who need help the most could receive support. So every family in London who receives child benefit, that's more than 800,000 families. In outer London, almost 600,000 families could receive support. Once we were confident that they'd receive support, and halfway through the financial year put in more money to the scheme, I was able to announce a policy where every single Londoner is now eligible to apply. I spoke to TfL this morning. That they turn around these things within a matter of days. In the last week, there have been, as we predicted, more than 15,000 applications. I think 14,000 vehicles have already been scrapped. So I'd encourage your viewers, check whether your vehicle is compliant. It probably is. If it's not, apply for support.
Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, thank you.
Yeah, guys, fascinating.
It's coming up to 7:45. We've got another big transport story this morning, affecting so many people, haven't we?
Yeah, we have been reporting it all morning. Thousands of passengers have been caught up in just...
If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel on SONE Gems with the thumbs up left side of the screen, please, from me. May the force be with you always. Quite spot the needs of the many. Way the needs this year. This is my friends Mikey and Jim at ITF Friday Fee in Surrey Hills Race Station. Every Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. now. Additional 50 Southern ITF Friday Fee in Surrey Hills Race Station. Sorry, on Surrey Hills Race Station. And listen to my friends on the mat live every Sunday on Lara's show on the Waking Race Station at 9 to 12 p.m. And listen to my friend Shane through the years, every 2 weeks on the Surrey Hills Race Station show in the afternoon, 2 to 3 p.m. and analog. That is in digital, that's 1400, 1500 p.m. in the afternoon. Please subscribe to my show on SONE Agents. I'll be happy because the Mayor of London has a very ruthless scheme to continue with the Yellowstone expansion. Might be sorry next. Subscribe to my show. Subscribe to my show on SONE Agents. I'll be happy. Bye.